What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode on EI Entertainment Studios. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Without further ado, let's start this discussion episode. So, recently I put up a poll for the next debate video. I'm going to be soloing this one, so it's going to be an interesting one. So this debate video is going to be based on Shin Godzilla versus the Megalodon. Now this Megalodon is going to be based off of the newest film, The Meg, which comes out in theaters August 10th, I believe. So we're going to go over the monsters, the weakness of the monsters, the advantages, and assess them, and then financially overall just finally bringing out the conclusion of who would be a victorious winner of the two. So let's begin, right? Alright. So we'll start off with Shin Godzilla. That's what everyone's familiar with. So we'll start off with Shin Godzilla. We'll go over origins, just the basic overall of the creature, and then we'll go over advantages and disadvantages, and then we'll move on to the Megalodon. So we know Shin Godzilla to this day. Now we're not going to include Earth Godzilla because he is an anime. I'm only going to include Godzillas I want to consider real movies. I'm not saying that the anime one isn't a real movie, but like live action movies. So Godzilla to this day in real movies, Shin Godzilla, excuse me, is the biggest Godzilla of all. He stands at a staggering height, and I believe it is 118.6 meters. Yeah, that's big, okay? He is huge. So, the origins of Shin Godzilla have always been a little weird, but from what I remember, his origins were a mollusk, or like a snail type of creature that got introduced, got hit by radioactive pollution, making him the monster he is today. So Shin Godzilla is a fire-breathing reptile now, you could say, that is the most evolved creature on Earth, and that plays an important role in this argument, and you will get there. You'll see why. Now, basically, Shin Godzilla has many advantages with also many disadvantages. So let's begin with the advantages. So the advantages of Shin Godzilla, well, let's start. One, he has impierceable skin. His skin is, if not almost, very impierceable. As we see in the movie, the military shoots all types of bombs ranging from all levels as they go up the levels on the the strength of the weapons. I remember in the movie, nothing seems to happen to Shin Godzilla. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even show a reaction to anything when they shoot at him, so nothing happens. But there is one part, but that will be in the disadvantages. But so far, his overall skin is impierceable, which meaning Megalodon. Okay, no, we'll talk about Megalodon when this time comes. He has impierceable skin. Okay. Next, this thing, wherever he walks, he is spilling radioactive fluids everywhere, and radiation in general everywhere. And yes, I can support that it is pretty much a main factor in the movie why Tokyo, Japan in general, wants to be nuclear bombed by US. Both it's too much radiation, and Godzilla is a threat in general. But yeah, so he spreads radiation everywhere, and to my knowledge, any living creature on Earth is not supposed to be hit by radiation. So yeah, and I just saw a spider across my room, so that's not good. Next, he has this crazy atomic breath and it's so cool. It at first I thought it was a little silly, but when you really think of it, it's really cool. So Shin Godzilla has a atomic breath. He has his normal atomic breath from the mouth, which is more of like a laser, but I'll say atomic breath because most people still argue that it's atomic breath. Whatever. Okay, you have atomic breath, and before he gives that atomic breath, he gives this really strong burst of flames and fire that just covers the whole city in the movie, which right there I think is enough to kill any living creature in the ocean. If you ask me, before he even gets to his real breath. And if that's not enough for you, he has lasers, hundreds of them, coming out from his dorsal fins, or I want to say in between his dorsal fins. Are you kidding me? Right? And making it even worse, what is also even more proof is that he can actually aim them, right? It's not like it's just coming out in every direction, which still would be a threat, but what makes it an even more threat, he can focus it on anything he wants, because in the movie, when he shoots down those F-bombers, what are they called, he clearly is aiming at them with his back, and he gets his target, like, boom, ASAP, right? So, he can aim them, which is also a great advantage for Shin Godzilla, but a huge disadvantage for Megalodon. Okay. Is there anything more? Oh yeah, I forgot. The tail. The tail, just for first and foremost, the tail is huge. I think anything that gets whipped or whooped with Shin Godzilla's tail is not gonna come out in one piece. And that's just saying without the fire we're gonna get to next. His tail is just enormous. More than half of the size of Shin Godzilla is taken up by the tail. It's gigantic and pretty big if you ask me. Yeah. Now, if the size isn't as enormous as it is, not only does he have fire with his mouth from his dorsal, or between his dorsal fins, he also can shoot this laser from his tail, which apparently has its own mouth and eyes, which it does actually, and all these weird things coming out of it, which makes it even more scary than it already is. So he has fire coming out almost every point of his body. And also, he has protective eyelids, which will protect him in combat, because having sight is not only one of the most important things in combat, but actually is one of the most important things in combat. If you can't see your opponent, Megalodon, if he bites in his eyes, he could put that weird fish eyelid thingy, and he can just protect himself, because that thing looks imperishable as well. I'm sure it's not, if Shin Godzilla's tail is imperishable, he's not gonna have a weak eyelid, because fire, if he can protect it from radioactive fire, I think a bite from a shark is gonna be perfectly fine. Okay, disadvantages. This is going to be a good one, because Shin Godzilla is the equal of both, because he has some great advantages, but also greater disadvantages. Now, the first one is, he is slow. He is slow. Even in the movie when he is swimming towards Tokyo, he's slow. Okay, I'm sure the Megalodon is much faster than Shin Godzilla. So that is a minus for Godzilla. He is very slow. 2. When I did say he has imperishable skin, that is everywhere except the skin in between his dorsal fins where the lasers come out, because when he does get shot by those F-bombers, the bullets go through. Meaning, if somehow the shark is able to bite Shin Godzilla in the dorsal fin area of the skin, he is most likely going to be able to go in there, right? He's going to bite through, and that's obviously going to hurt Shin Godzilla. So I wouldn't say his whole area is impierceable, but his small part of his dorsal fins is actually pierceable. So we have a weak point right there. Also, Shin Godzilla has something called radioactive overheating. That's why his dorsal plates, or his plates, which they serve as coolers, he needs a resting period of, I believe it was 2 weeks in the movie. So this is in general for every fight. Whoever he's fighting, if this guy goes overheating and he just, goes into cooldown mode, I don't think his opponent is gonna wait for him. I doubt it. So he's probably gonna get beat like that too, right? He's gonna knock out middle of a fight, so that's no good. Also, even though Shin Godzilla is the most biggest creature, he doesn't start off like that. Now we're gonna talk in general, we're gonna talk overall as, them fighting. He doesn't start off like that. He starts off like a sluggish creature that would most probably, even his third and fourth form, no, second and third form, my apologies. Second and third form would probably be beat by any monster because they're not that strong. So right there is no good. That's the best time for Megalodon to kill Shin Godzilla. But if he does become as big as he does at his end, then Megalodon is pretty much screwed, right? Let's see, what else can we say for disadvantage? Because I want to get to Megalodon now. I think that's pretty much it for Shinny. Yeah, let's get to Megalodon. Megalodon is the top creature of the food chain in the ocean. Okay, he is humongous. I believe Megalodon is the size of 2 school buses or a Airbus or something like that. I don't know. You could don't quote me on that. You could correct me. But he's big. Okay, he's a gigantic shark, nowhere near the size of Shin Godzilla, but he's big. So he has some size on him. A great advantage would be he probably, for sure, knows how to fight. Okay, he knows how to fight. If he is the predator of the food chain, I'm sure he knows what he's doing when he's hunting. So when it comes to close combat, being in water, the shark is gonna be, going in all types of directions, pulling all types of techniques of fighting to win this fight, and he's gonna be the master of the two, because at the end, yes, he is the top of the food chain. But also, if you think about it, Godzilla is king of the monsters, so he's at the top of the food chain as well. That's interesting, right? So I'm sure that the Megalodon has some pretty hard skin as well. I'm not gonna say it's impierceable because, again, it's just fish skin, right? And I'm sure at some point it's gonna wear off, or it's gonna wear down. I mean, there's not too much stuff for advantages. I mean, he's a shark. He has big ass teeth, right? He has really big teeth, and what else is he gonna do, right? Now, I have a great part for disadvantages though, because for disadvantages, the biggest one is not only is Shin Godzilla going to fight in water because he has gills, right? Shin Godzilla has gills. He can both fight in water and out of water. So right there is a huge advantage for Shin Godzilla. But I mean, a disadvantage for Megalodon. But you see, if he can fight in water, right? If he can fight in water, he could probably pull out Megalodon and just kill him right there. So what's the point, right? So there's a two-way advantage there, which is gonna definitely go towards Shin Godzilla. Oh my god, that's a long debate. Now, at the end of the day, Shin Godzilla is a living creature on Earth, and Megalodon is also a living creature on Earth, but Shin Godzilla is the most genetically evolved creature. So, technically, he can make a replica of the Megalodon if he wants to, right? Because he sees people, and he makes humanoids on his tail. So, in my conclusion, the winner of this fight is easily Shin Godzilla. If you want to argue, go ahead and argue in the comment section. I would love to hear your analysis for this. But for now, thank you for watching. Let me know if you agree with my decision, and if yours was different, how would it be different? Thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.